Let's see how to speed up the troubleshooting of rules in QRadar with a tool created by Mutas from Poland. I have a rule here. Let's say that this is a rule actually that was in my case firing before, and I do not know why it doesn't fire. It has multiple test conditions, and I want to quickly know why it's not working instead of deleting every condition and trying. There is a much easier way. This is the event that I have, that I want this rule to actually fire upon, and I have it here on a search coming from that log source that we hear. That event, but that event for some reason is not firing. It's not getting my rule to trigger, to fire. Well, let me show you how easy this is. All I need to do is select the actual event and Control click in the case of Windows, of Shift Enter if you are using a Mac like I'm using right now, and that gets you to this particular window in here. Let me actually make it a little bigger. This is a search. Well, we need to grab, and you see why later, the handle of that particular search. So I copy that one. I SSH into the QRadar box and issue actually this command. I will explain, how you make this happen, but let me just show you the benefit of this thing. Once I click Enter, this rule is going to be automatically evaluated on all the test conditions that we saw before, all those three conditions. These three conditions on the rule, they can be more than three conditions, they can be building blocks, they can be reference data. I mean, it supports really almost every possible rule, and unless, contrary to when you're debugging this manually or troubleshooting this manually, you know that when one of the rules is false, then the other ones do not get evaluated. So it's kind of hard to know quickly which one are firing and which one are not. When we go back to the SSH session, we see that the tool tells us, the first condition is true. Okay, the remote to local is false. Why? This was working before. And the last condition is actually true. So why is the remote to local? I seem to remember now that I made some changes in my environment. Let me actually go into the network hierarchy and see. And I think I made some changes for another use case that I was doing, and I added changes in the server network under critical servers. Yep, I added that. See that range, which precisely coincides with the source IP of that particular incident. And so that's why QRadar is seen as local, because I made that change on the network hierarchy. See how quickly you can debug these complex rules? If you're interested in this, let me show you how you get this working. In the description of the video of this series, you will find this link. This is a publicly accessible link that takes you to this directory, and you want to open this README file. You can download or display the actual text file in there, and here we show you how you actually use the rule, and you saw it there, and we explain what each of the parameter is. It is that simple. We show you how you install this simple rule, this simple tool in a non-production environment. We highlight that everywhere. You should debug you should create and troubleshoot, debug your rules in a test system, and then you move it to a production system. And video 5 of this series show you how you actually move the rule from different systems in a very easy way. So if I go to my network hierarchy again and go ahead and edit that critical server piece, And just for this example, I'm going to actually remove that particular condition and go back to my SSH session and retest the rule. I almost forgot. I made a change on the network hierarchy. I need to deploy that change. So let me actually deploy the change, and I'm going to pause the video and I will be right back. Now that the deploy change is finished, I rerun the tool and I see that all three conditions, actually four conditions, no, three conditions and the overall, that's the combination of them all. So those three conditions are true, therefore the rule is true, and we'll know that with that event comes in, this is going to fire. Notice that before the rule was actually given as true, false, true, and therefore the overall rule is actually false. This is going to save you a tremendous amount of time, and it's going to make you even more productive troubleshooting rules in QRadar.